What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Learning 101. It is May 2nd, a little after 11 a.m. What a day it has been in Pennyland. I called it out yesterday when ABIO just went on an explosion that today we were going to get follow through. All kinds of stocks were going to pop off. Low float stocks were going to pop off. And that's exactly what happened. Look at ABIO here. From yesterday, going from 520s up to a high of almost $13. Today, opening at around $18. Just touching $20. Coming all the way back down to 13 and ramping back up to 18. Oh my goodness, look at this thing. Just so beautiful. You can see right before noon here, we just got a nice little up movement right here. We just had so many stocks just pop off today. DFFN, NSPR, PRPO, OHRP, TAIT, and then ZNGA, which is kind of just a gap and crap. But just so much going on today. Let's jump into this market recap video and let's break it all down. Alright, so real quick, let me bring this over as always. We'll go over the overall strength first. We got the VIX approaching 15, so we're 1 point away from 16. What I like to look for market plays. The market is starting to get a little volatile now as the VIX is approaching 15. But let's look at the SPY here real quick. The SPY actually had a gap down today. Slight gap down, not much. But you can see at the end of Wednesday here, we had a sell-off. Today, right at the market open, we could just get this great momentum and it just grinds up and up and up and up and up. And then it just gave everything back and then some currently. So the SPY is now red on the day as we're approaching lunch. Same thing with the Qs. Market opens, we get great grinding and buying up and up and up. Sells it all back. I always forget to get my marker out right when I do market recaps. And then we got the Russell 2000. Look at this thing. Just great. Same thing. Morning buying. And look at that surge that it has up. And then it just crashes right back down. And now the Russell 2000 goes right on the day. There's a theme there. You see it? Pump and dump. So let's go over ABIO for the first one. ABIO yesterday, as we all know, just went crazy. It's got a sub-zero flow of just 1 million. Shares outstanding is about around 1 million. And it even looks like right now it's getting squeezed. This could pop to the upside. This could pop to the downside. It is getting really, really tight right now. But today, we just get this surge right here from 10 all the way up to almost 19. And then it just consolidates in this range from 1650 all the way up to 1850 right at the open. And then as soon as the market opened, we got just a up and look at this candle from 20 to 17. That's a big, big range right there. And then it couldn't pull through. And then, as you can see, I connected the lower highs and the lower lows, and we were in this downtrend. And then it just quickly went sideways for a moment, came out of the downtrend, and you can see it just surged from $13.50 up to $17. Nice little surge right there. Nice bull flag pullback. And then from 16, it explodes up to 18. Gets halted. and then look at that crash down. And then currently right now it's just getting really, really tight. $14.50 up to $16, consolidating. $1.50 range right there. That's where traders come in and they just scalp this back and forth until it either breaks to the upside or breaks to the downside. Like I said, this could go either way, up or down. We just had so much stuff popping off today. Real quick, we'll just cover ZNGA real quick. ZNGA gaps up from 550s all the way up to a high of 630, and as soon as the market opened, you could just see everybody's just been taking their profits, and it's just been selling off all morning. And then we got NSPR here. You could see a few days ago we went from 430 and we just got a spike up to 5, and then the next day it consolidated. Yesterday it got a nice morning grind, a really, really light volume, another morning surge right there, and you can see it just set up a good wedge into the close. And then today, as soon as the market opened, it just exploded up. You got to think, this is why it's important to do screeners every night after the market closes. Really good, dedicated traders do screeners every single night to prepare for the next trading day. And when traders see that NSPR was a top percentage gainer, again, that's why it's good to always look at the top percentage gainers of the day at the end of the day. You could see it got this really, really light volume, and it just got this push up, and then it consolidated, and then it got another surge up. But then it bottomed here at 5, a mental area, made lower highs, forming a really, really tight wedge into the close. Now, if I would have seen this before today, this would have been on my watch list for sure. It was a percentage gainer. It grinded up all day, and it set up an end of the day pattern. And look what happened pre-market. Boom, explosion. Pulls back, market opens, explosion. And I believe NSPR is a low float as well. Let's look it up real quick. Yup. NSPR has a float of 1.27 million. Average true range is 73 cents. Shares outstanding is 1.3 million. Short float is 6.4%. Average volume is a little low, but look at the volume on it today. 6.7 million in volume. It's rotated the float 3-4 times already. When a stock rotates the float over and over again, you gotta expect it's gonna move if it's just rotating the float like the way it is. So back to NSPR. Just look at this. This is just awesome. So much stuff going on today. Right there. Gets a nice pop this morning. Right here with that first candle. Morning flush. Down to the $6 area. A mental area. And then from 6, just gets a nice surge. Up to 680s. And then tops out here at 750. $1.50 move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes. $1.50 move. and then falls all the way back down. You could see it tried bouncing here at the low here, but then it cracked right through it, and then it started to go sideways here at 570, and then just slowly moved its way on up. And look at where it found resistance at, right where it had support right here and support right here. So old support is now resistance. All right, moving on. We got a lot of stocks to go through today. And then we got PRPO from yesterday too. Look at this. If we zoom out on this, again, this was that stock that had just a 6 sell-off, a gap up, a 6 sell-off, consolidation, starts to ramp up, and then yesterday, just great action on this yesterday. And same thing. Look at this nice wedge that it formed right here. Draw a resistance line right there, connect the higher lows, forms a very, very tight ascending wedge, and it's right, and then it just surges from 725 up to a high of 850 right there. Gets a pullback and U-shapes back around for pretty much a strong close. Closes at 850, and today it gaps up to 950, $1. And then that momentum just carried over. We get a nice surge from 9 up to 980, pulls back, surges up to 10, pulls back, and then from $9 grinds up to 983, makes a high at 1080, and then look at this 6 sell-off. This is where you get in trouble when you chase a stock. If it's way up here, look at that 6 sell down. It did have a nice bounce here at 960 up to just over 10, but then it continued to sell off, and then continued to sell off. 3 death candles right there. That one, and that one. And then from $9, a mental area, and look at right where it bounced at. If you zoom out, you see the bottom trend line connecting the lower highs here. If you just extended that out, look at where this has been bouncing off of. Just simply extending that trend line. This stock sold down all the way from 1080 down to $9 and bounced pretty much perfectly off of that up to 940, pulls back down to that line, and then just grinds all the way up to the VWAP to 980. That's really, really good patience and connecting all the pieces right there. That's why I say you got to be very, very observant of stocks. Very observant. And then it sells right back down. And what do you know? You get a long wick right here, and look at where it bounced. Right off that trend line. And snaps right back up to 940. Pulls back down again to the trend line. And then grinds right back up to 950. And also too, this is forming another wedge, as you can see. Always look at multiple time frames as well. I like to look at 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute. Look at this great pattern right here. That's a perfect wedge. And we've been seeing a lot of wedges in the market lately. This is setting up pretty nicely. It could retest $10 again. Alright, moving on real quick. Want to check DFN. Look at DFN still going. ABIO. Looks like it's starting to form a head and shoulders. OHRP. a really fast just pump and dump from 234 up to 280, and then look at that, just 6 sell down, back down to 244 to 274. Traders ain't gonna want to touch that. That's just too risky. And then TAIT I wanted to talk about. Look at that, it's just straight up move from 580s, grinds, gets momentum, and shoots up to 730, and then crashes right back down. Now, when you see a stock that's doing this currently right now, and you're looking at this, and you're thinking about buying it in this area, what you always want to do is you want to zoom out and see what it did the days prior. Now, if you were to just look at this and you were just to see right now, well, all right, from 570, this ran up to 730. That's a good move for today. But if I zoom out, the past 4 days, this has been grinding up from this 375 area. It's just going sideways, starts to grind up even more, grind up even more, and then today it finally got all that momentum and it just surged straight up. So you got to think, everybody who was buying this, on this day, and this day, and then they got a really good pop right here, of course they're going to want to take their profits. They just got in on a killer stock that went from 375 up to 725. But there's just so much stuff popping off. The pharmaceutical and biotechnology, healthcare sector has just been popping with low float stocks, left and right. DFFIN or DFFN. Now this is a sympathy play from ABIO. It's in the same sector, it's in the same industry, it's got a low float. Let's look up DFFN real quick. Look at the float. Float is 3.27 million. Shares outstanding 3.6 million. Average true range is 30 cents. You always want to check the short float too. What's the short float percentage? If you got a low float and the short float percentage is high, you have a short squeeze forming, because everybody short the float is going to want to buy to cover. And then you have people on top of it just buying to go long, the stock's going to go crazy. And look at, you got all these people here on StockTwits starting to talk on it. Just straight up grinding and grinding and grinding. Look at that, nothing's going on all this morning. Then just from 320, surges up, gets halted. Look at that, it reopens, slams down here to 350, and then quickly snaps back up to 4, comes back down, bottoms right here at 364, and starts to U-shape on up and break out, and then gets halted up here at 470. Opens back up, you're going to want to have people taking profits, comes down, starts to just bottom out right there. And then from there, just ever since, just made higher lows and higher highs. Look at that. From 3 to 590. Wow. Just so much stuff going on. And like I said, from yesterday's market recap, I called this out. I said, this is going to bring FOMO into the market. ABIO went supernova. People are going to see that and say, wow, I could have made a lot of money. I'm not going to miss the next one. And then the next day they come prepared, and anything that moves or hits their scanners, they're buying. That's why we've had so many stocks just up and just go today. And ABIO still at it. Look at that. Just broke out from this area right here. From 1450 or 14, what is that? $14 to 1550. Breaks out of that range and surges up $2 to 17. Great opportunity on ABIO. That's why you gotta have patience. Let stuff set up. I know it's very, very exciting as soon as that bell rings. Let all those impatient noobs trade the first 20 minutes of the open. I don't want to trade that. That's ugly. Let this thing sell down, set something up. You see it's in a downtrend, and then it starts to wrap around and starts moving its way back on up. Get a nice pullback right there, back to this old resistance, and then pop right there. You just gotta be here every day and put that screen time in, and you just see this stuff happen over and over and over again. So far, May's been just popping off. Really, really great start to May. Hopefully this momentum carries into Friday, and then everybody's going to be preparing over the weekend, and then next week, everything is just going to explode because people are going to be excited. ABIO gets people excited and brings volume back into small caps. That's what happens. This happens every earnings season. So DFFN and ABIO would be the ones on watch for the rest of the day. And look at that sell-off there after it touched 6. Selling down to 5s. Traders make their money just by waiting. I only traded once today. I traded ABIO and I took a very, very small loss. It happened right here. I seen it was getting support here at 16. I was looking for a U-shape back around to test up to 20 here. I got in really small size, like 50 shares. When you got a very volatile stock like this, going all in with large size can really, really hurt your account. So as soon as this broke below 16, I just cut it. And then I didn't touch it since. When I take my first trade, if it's a loss, I'll try not to trade the rest of the day. I'll just try to start again the next day because I don't want that loss to carry over to be into revenge trading. Because an easy $100, $200 loss and your emotions get to you, that can turn into a $500 loss, a $1,000 loss, and it can really, really mess with your head. So that's why I try my first trade. If I get it, great. Then I'll look for another setup and look to continue that momentum. But if I take a loss on my first trade, I'm done for the day. Gotta cut those losers. But going back to the market's still selling off. Maybe we'll get a end of the day rally here. Maybe back up to the close. But this morning was just awesome. Very awesome. A lot of stuff popping off on the scanners. And just prepare, because Friday's going to be hot as well. So compile, observe today, and prepare for the next day. That's all you can really do. You always want to prepare yourself for the best possible day. But that's going to be it for this, guys. Hopefully you guys had a great trading day. Go ABIO, go DFFN. I'm glad to see volumes back into small caps. Let's get it. May's getting off to a great start with ABIO and DFFN. Right now, healthcare, biotechnology, these pharmaceuticals are the ones that are popping off. So always be looking for stocks to follow in sympathy. Alright guys, until next time, I'll see you guys Friday. Have that patience, have that discipline, and study, study, study. Alright, later everyone.